Congressman Raul Grijalva is on the line. I want to pick him up and because he's making news here. So I appreciate the call, Frank. Congressman Grijalva, the U.S. Congressman from the 3rd District, Grijalva, Grijalva.house.gov is his website. Also chairman or co-chairman of the House Progressive Caucus. Congressman, welcome back to the program.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
Great to have you with us. I understand that now that Paul Ryan has proposed his wackadoodle budget to voucherize Medicare and basically make poor people poorer and rich people richer, that the House Progressive Caucus has an alternative.
Yes, and today, outside of where Paul Ryan was conducting his committee hearing on his budget, Ryan 2, because it's the same thing as the one last time. Yep. A budget that's premised on eliminating healthcare reform, and a budget that's predicated on continuing, if not widening, the opportunities that have been given to corporate America in the past, without any responsibility to help contribute back to the American people. And it's been so. That's going to be the budget. That's the one they're going to put on the floor, and as we've done the 2 previous years, we're providing a choice, and a very stark choice from.
So tell me the details of the program. First of all, what's the name for the progressive? It's called Back to Work Budget?
The Back to Work Budget.
Okay, so the House Progressive Caucus has put together the Back to Work Budget. Y'all are proposing this as an alternative to the Paul Ryan, Devastate America budget. What are the details of your budget?
Well, central to that is the job creation component, and without getting buying into the rhetoric that this is all about spending cuts and it's about deficit reduction, and the fate of the world as we know it will be doomsday if we don't do the Ryan budget. Ours, it's common sense. An economy cannot get better unless people are working. Families can't get better unless people are working, and we have to make some investments. And in making those investments and requiring for fairness in our tax policies, we generate revenue to both secure the programs that Americans have, their insurance programs, Medicare and Social Security. Secure them without tampering. We don't even mention Social Security in our budget. That is that's a trust fund. That is separate. Should never be dragged into these conversations at any level.
Totally agree.
And we secure Medicare without having to devastate and cut benefits and raise eligibility and privatize portions of it and create some phony voucher system that is only going to enrich the insurance companies and do nothing for the recipients of health care under Medicare. So it's job creation, trying to, as sad as it might sound, to bring the jobless rate in this country to under 4% within 3 years, and it should be full employment. We all know that, and the circumstance and the recession that was created by bad policy and unpaid wars. We now have to look at trying to get back to under 5% as an unemployment rate for the country, and we have funding education, aid to the states, so that this recession gap in state budgets for 2 years return to the states revenue, allowing the rehiring of primarily public employees, from teachers to cops, and public works jobs program.
So you're suggesting putting people back to work instead of austerity?
Yeah, and still, in terms of reducing the deficit, because the American people have been fed this, that the deficit is the reason that we're in this situation, when in reality it's the lack of investment that also put us in this situation.
Yeah.
We come to within 3 or 4% at the end of 10 years, very similar to Ryan's, to a deficit
to a balanced budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
So
but we're not. You know, everybody's talking, including the president's talking about generating revenue that's revenue neutral. No, we think that the revenue that is generated needs to be reinvested and needs to be used to mitigate some of the cuts that we're talking about with sequestration and the Budget Control Act.
yeah.
And transition fee for Wall Street. Doing the kind of the tax bias that has existed, ending that.
So you're proposing a stet tax, the securities transaction excise tax.
Yeah, and
that's great.
And reducing the deductions, reducing the subsidies to corporate America. They're doing very well.
Yeah, corporate America definitely is doing very well. Congressman Raul Grijalva, thanks so much for the back to work budget, sir.
And thank you for calling. We appreciate it very much.